what's going on, guys? Welcome to Beyond the Field. Today's lucky athlete is Eli Manning. We are Giant fans.
Yeah.
We love Eli. Right. He let us see 2 Super Bowls, which we're grateful for. But he's much more than an athlete on the field.
Yeah, this was an athlete close to our hearts, for sure.
Yes.
When we're doing as many athletes as we can that we enjoy watching, but Eli is up there for our fandom, for sure.
Yep,
yeah.
2-time Super Bowl MVP.
Yep.
Eli won the Walter Payton Award alongside co-winning it with Larry Fitzgerald in 2016 for many different charities that he is a part of.
Yeah, it's pretty.
I have like over 20.
Like you said, over 20 that he's either donated to or participated with. I wrote down a few just to give you an idea of the array of different types of charities that he commits to. It's not just like one, not to say that it's bad to go into just one particular type of foundation or organization, but Eli has spread himself out over so many different types. It's incredible to me. So, Boys and Girls Clubs of America, which I think many people are familiar with. It's after-school programs for kids.
Yep, that's that outdoor commercial you see all
the
time.
Right. You see a lot of those commercials. Yeah. St. Francis Food Pantries in New York, feeding families that are dealing with, issues of hunger. The Phoenix House, which is an alcohol and drug abuse center for teens and young adults. Alliance for Lupus Research, which is a debilitating autoimmune disorder, so he's donated to that. March of Dimes is helping march for the awareness of birth defects and premature births.
And that's what he does, every January?
Yeah, every January he does a march for that, so just funding research for that. He's helped Peyton Manning, is his brother, which many of you guys know, also a very successful NFL player. He helps out his organization, who donates to families with difficult living and financial situations. And then Kids with Cancer. He has a whole organization with the Giants that he's partnered up with, and they're constantly doing different events with his own money and with the Giants' money to donate to Tackle Kids Cancer is the organization that's called. So he is spread across the board. And
not to mention he has granted over 100 Make-A-Wish Make-A-Wishes for kids with cancer.
There was an award in 2013 that he won for his recognition of commitment to Make-A-Wish Foundation. So
and
unbelievable.
If growing up you watched Eli, you wouldn't think he's this type of person. You think he's quiet and to himself, but he's very much so in it. And like you said, in the communities that he was in, New York and Omaha. Omaha is what he always yells.
That's his cadence, the hike, so he's New York, obviously, where he played.
Ole Miss.
Mississippi.
Yes.
Yeah, so he went to college at Ole Miss, so he's done plenty of work in Mississippi, and then even at home in New Orleans.
And he continues to still do it.
Yeah, right. So the places that he's played or lived, he's committed
his time
his
roots are, and he really branches out and commits his time to help whoever he can, and that's why he's in over 20 different foundations, and he raised over $67 million for these foundations and counting. He's still going even though he's retired. And one of the best charities he did for me was escaping that tackle.
Yeah, that was a donation to all Giants fans out there in 2007 to get us another Super Bowl. But you mentioned the Walter Payton Award, which is, I think, the motto statement of that award is just serving your local community and committing time to your community. And we mentioned that is a passion of his, is his communities. He has multiple communities at this point with where he's lived and where he's played, but he's the essence of being in the community that you're at whatever time of your life, and committing your time and money to it. So,
and if you watch him, what is it, every Monday? When he's on with Peyton, it's behind him.
The Manning cast. Oh, the Walter
Payton's right behind him every time.
And so that just goes to show how important it is to him. He realizes the magnitude of that award.
Co-winner with Larry Fitzgerald too.
Yeah.
That they were both doing so good for their communities at the time that you couldn't pick a decisive winner.
Yeah, that was like pretty unprecedented actually. It's like there's always been one winner of the Walter Payton Award, and that year there were two. So we might have to do an episode on Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah, definitely.
If he was worthy of that. I guess the only other thing I had is that he has how many daughters does he have? He has 3 daughters, father of 3, and so that made sense when you looked at all the organizations and charities that he's committed to. It's a lot of commitment to children, cancer research, and financial disabilities. Hunger.
Also, his brother too.
Peyton.
Growing.
Yeah.
The one
Cooper?
who's sick, Cooper.
Yeah. Okay.
Probably that, pushed him forward to doing all this. Probably.
Yeah. Right. So you see like the family ties of reasons that he would commit himself to certain causes. So that's very cool to see. Is sticking with things that have affected him or things that are important to him in his day-to-day life.
The one you hear most about, though, on the radio, living in New York, is the walk for tots, and that he does every January. Walk for tackle whatever kids cancer, whatever it is.
The March of Dimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one that you hear about the most on the radio. Every year, from November on, you hear like it's gonna happen and when it's happening, and normally it's around January, mid-January.
Yeah. Yes, that's a cool thing that is consistent and people.
And he does it. He's not like the type that shows up at the finish line or he's there. He actually does the whole thing.
Yeah.
Every year. Yeah. So he's been a giant for 16 years.
16 years.
So 16 years and above, he's been doing this.
Yeah.
For
he'll do it
the New Jersey community and New York community.
Yeah. 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 It's great.
He's a special guy, and what he's been doing with his brother on Mondays is opening up like his comedic side, and like people are actually seeing him not as a stick in the mud type.
Yeah, like you mentioned earlier, as a player he was very quiet and to himself, and so people were not judgmental, but boring old Eli. But he does this Monday Night Football broadcast where it's him and his brother Peyton just show off their comedic side, and it's really funny to see. So I think that kind of sums it up. I guess lastly I would just say that watching him on the field, you can see his humbleness and how he was just very committed to doing his job and committing his work ethic to his teammates, and that was very commendable watching him play on the field. And so just knowing that, and then also pairing it with what he's constantly been doing behind the scenes and beyond the field, it just makes so much sense, and it's awesome to see, because we've seen how good of a guy he is on the field. And so when you think about him committing his time to 20 plus organizations, you can say with confidence that he's doing it well, and he's doing it humbly and as a true servant to whoever he's catering to, not with the athletic celebrity ego that you sometimes see. So
we hope we shed light on Eli, and if you want to donate, I'm sure you could just look up one of his many charities. The Dimes one is a good one to donate your time to, donate some money to. Thank you guys for tuning in.
All right, thanks guys.